HQ, this is Alpha Leader. I need a location on Ada Wong.
This is HQ. We've got the location for you. Ada Wong has left the city and is heading south from the harbor.
They're throwing a party for me, and I'm not even there yet.
Alright, welcome back to Resident Evil 6. This level should look a little familiar because this is somewhere that we went through as Chris. However, we will not be taking his exact route. After we get out of this area, that's pretty much the end of the familiar areas. What the hell is going on in that picture? So, right over here, you can already see that playground. This is the same playground where Chris rode on that little panda thing. And I was very happy to see it return in Ada's, because she can actually do stuff here too. She can't quite ride the panda. That's something only Chris can do. And yes, there is a reason that pandas are going extinct, and that's Ada Wong. But Ada can use the slide. Let's see if we can't use that other slide now. No, it doesn't look like it. It looks like this is the only one, but we'll find a way down it anyway. Now let's see about going up. If I ever saw someone doing this up a slide, I would be very impressed. Like, that person has skills. But now is when we're going to diverge from the path that Chris took. I think Chris kind of went to the right. He went through there, actually. And we're going to go kind of over to the left here. And away we go. So here's when we get introduced to, at least for Ada, the J'avo. This is when they start really mixing the enemies together. You know, it's either going to be zombies or J'avo. I think actually this part might have both.
These are the same kind of soldiers I saw in the sun.
I like this guy with his big arms running at me. He looks like an idiot. Oof, that was a really good shot. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but that was pretty damn good. That's damn good! So this part's really big. It's also kind of confusing. There is a serpent emblem in this area. It's in one of these like little shops here. This is kind of like a, I guess, a flea market. I do like to explore this area and see what's going on. Because there's a lot of, you know, little details that they put in this area, and I like looking at it. I love how that's the camera angle they gave us, you know, facing Ada with her arms crossed. Like, I'm not impressed. If I'd missed that coup de grace, or that dodge anyway, her being impressed would have been just dumb. Do I see another watermelon? Not anymore. I kinda wish more of Ada's campaign took place in Tall Oaks, but I'm not completely upset about it. It's not the worst thing that's ever happened. But I feel like everyone's takes place in China. I mean, yeah, everyone goes to China, but I feel like the majority of everyone's takes place in China.
Enjoy a night on the town.
Well, I guess Leon really only has 2 levels in China. Jake has 1? Does Jake only have 1 level in China? And then Chris has, like, the majority of his in China. Yeah, ignore the bad textures, but I like the amount of detail that they actually put in here. Like, these are all new, like, textures and stuff just for this one area. And almost no one's gonna look at it. They're all just gonna run by it. But, you know, Ada's just doing some window shopping. Maybe after she saves the world, we'll be able to, come back here and purchase some stuff. But there is the Serpent Emblem that we are looking for. So I guess I should talk about the kind of twist or reveal that happened in the last video. This was something that I talked about all the way back in Chris's campaign, where I said I saw this twist coming. I wasn't like 100% on it, but it didn't surprise me when it happened because I saw it coming. Also, $88 for feet, what does that mean? Foot massage? Foot, like what? But anyway, in the last video we realized that the person that Ada was talking to wasn't actually Simmons. It was actually another Ada. And I saw that coming in Chris's campaign because there's a cutscene when you're on that like boat, the Neo Umbrella boat, where Ada is talking and she's wearing like a purple outfit. And then the very next scene you're chasing Ada and she's wearing this outfit that we're seeing right now. And I realized, wait a minute, something's not right here. Why would they have the cutscene and the in-game model be completely different if they weren't, you know, if they're thinking of doing, like, continuity? So I was like, there's something up here. I think there's two Adas. And lo and behold, there are two Adas. It's also pretty obvious to figure out if you're just playing, like, Leon's campaign, because while there are no real hints that there's two Adas, the two Adas that you see, you can always tell who's who, because one's wearing purple, one's wearing red. The one wearing purple is always really mean and not very helpful towards Leon. And then the one in red is like the normal Ada who's, you know, who helps Leon and stuff like that. And then there's the whole, you know, Leon, Ada Wong is dead. Okay, Chris. Okay, got it, Chris. And then she just shows up again, and he doesn't really question anything. So you can kind of tell that there's like some shenanigans going on, but I don't know, I was able to kind of piece it together fairly early on. And it's still pretty cool, but they never really do anything with it. Like, the second Ada thing, we'll get more into that when we get into it, but it's never really as good as it could have been, I don't think. I don't know if I've talked about this yet, but the cover mechanic is so much better in this game than it is in, like, 4 and 5. Because 4 was just like, hey, go behind a container and press a button, and then you kind of just crouch. And then in 5, it was really bad. Like, I love 5. I love 5 to death. But that game has a terrible cover mechanic.
Well done. Go make an impression.
I think these guys are going to mutate. I do believe. Which is something that Ada has to deal with, obviously, as she deals with the Joavo, is that she has to deal with, you know, some mutations such as these guys here. I do like dealing with these guys. They're fun. The Strelats are pretty fun, as long as you melee them. I've said this a bunch of times, but I don't know if it's true or not, but I feel like melee is their weakness. Just run up to them, press the melee. Also, this guy is, like, really annoying because he's stuck in that, like, attack phase where he's only going to do that. But yeah, that's what I like to do. I like to run up to them, and as I'm near them, press the melee button, because you'll do kind of like a jumping kick thing. And then if you're able to do the quick time event, they should pretty much just be dead. I feel like we've been fighting the same Strelats for about 20 minutes now. Oh, he's finally dead.
Go make an impression. Follow my
I'd
lead.
say in this level, or at least this part of the level, Strelats are going to be the things that you're going to be fighting the most often.
I owe you one. Well done.
She's praising herself because there's no co-op buddy. Yeah, it probably wouldn't have been a good idea to pick up that skill point. I don't know why I shot it like that. But if we just go right through here, this is where we're going to want to go. What the hell are you? Yeah, they put a lot of detail into these China levels, I think. It very much looks like China. Like, I've never been to China, and I would assume that it looks at least somewhat accurate to what I imagine China would look like if it was under siege by Juavo and zombies. What is that? What are these posters? I feel like they just smoked a whole lot of crack and then were like, oh, here's a good idea for a poster. Here's an eggcorn in a field. Yeah, going back to Resident Evil Revelations 2, it seems like they're taking cues from one of my favorite games in the series, which is Resident Evil 0. Because they're showing footage where you can swap in between Claire and Barry's daughter Moira, like pretty much on the fly, which is very similar to the partner zapping mechanic from Resident Evil 0, where you can go from Rebecca to Billy at any time, and I'm really excited about that. Because I know people are tired of the whole like co-op thing, but I don't think it's gonna be co-op. It's going to be co-op in the sense that you've got a little girl with you, but I don't think she's going to be very helpful, so I think it'll be kind of similar to... I think it's going to be a blend between 4, 5, and 0. I am excited about Resident Evil Revelations 2. You know, it's a sequel to one of my favorite games in the series, and it's bringing Claire back, but I really hate the fact that it's episodic. Because I'm the kind of guy who wants it ASAP, like I want to play the new Resident Evil game, but I also want the retail release, like the full physical copy, and they said if you get the physical copy you get like extra stuff. So it's probably going to end up happening because I'm such a stupid idiot when it comes to Resident Evil games. I'm most likely going to get the digital versions as they come out, and then I'm also going to get the retail copy. Which isn't completely ridiculous because I own like 3 copies of the first Resident Evil game. I've owned like every single iteration of Resident Evil 4, and I own 2 copies of Resident Evil Revelations. One on the 3DS, one on the Wii U, and the one on the 3DS is the one where they had the title misspelled on the spine, where it's Revelatins. This area looks familiar. I feel like this is an area that Jake went through. It might just look like that because all of the China parts kind of look similar, but I'm not exactly sure. It looks like Jake went through this area. Damn it. I always miss the last one, I feel. But it's alright because he's dead. He dead. And I want to say that's it for the Strelets in this area. Yeah, there's nothing else in this area. There's no serpent emblems. How did that guy die? He just looks like he kind of just sat there and then just passed away. What an idiot.